Grylls might be one of the world's most famous adventurers, but, like Charlie, who started as a cartoonist and self-taught artist, has battled self-doubt and mental health issues. Mulling over the meaning of true bravery, Charlie drew a picture of a boy and a horse and posted it on social media. In his now distinctive black ink, he wrote, "What is the bravest thing you've ever said?" asked the boy. "Help," replied the horse. The image resonated with thousands of people who sent it viral. The army got in touch about whether they could use it to help soldiers suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. The NHS wanted to place it on wards and to send it to staff. And waves of troubled souls reached out to Charlie. He had hit a chord of pain. He started to post more of his pictures on Instagram. I thought, well, what else would a boy ask? And bit by bit, it grew out of that. He decided to have a pop-up exhibition of his work, expecting only a handful of people would be interested. I was thinking that maybe 12 people and my mom would come, but 10,000 came in 6 days, Charlie recalls today. There was a lot of sobbing, a lot of men sobbing with me. It was there that he was first approached about creating a narrative for his stories and turning his art into a book. It came out in October 2019, then just a few months later, we were in the middle of a pandemic and even more of us were alone, frightened, craving comfort. For an increasing number of fans, that comfort came from Charlie, his simple drawings and his wisdom extolling kindness, positivity and community above all else. While the story is simple with Charlie's black ink drawings, the messages it contained were loved by adults and children alike. A boy is lost and meets, along the way, a cake-mad and enthusiastic mole, and a scary fox who starts to follow them. The final friend is a magnificent and wise horse. Each of them, he says, represent a different part of the same character. The boy is the inquisitive child, the mole is the part that reaches out to provide comfort, the fox is our damaged, untrusting parts, and the horse is our deep bit, the soul if you like. At one point, when the boy is upset, the horse tells him, "Tears fall for a reason and they are your strength, not weakness." The book became an instant international bestseller, loved by everyone from Oprah Winfrey to the Queen Consort. It has the record for the longest #1 hardback in the Sunday Times bestsellers list of all time, spending more than 150 weeks there. A quietly spoken, clearly shy man, Charlie, who lives alone in South London, is sweetly teary when he thinks about the impact his work has had. "I began as a strange person in a little room, but then these drawings seemed to be taken on by others," he says. "I didn't think I'd get any of this reaction. It was just a dialogue that came out of a vulnerable place. When I saw the reaction of clinical psychologists and even hospitals, I was thinking, really? As well as, that's great. I didn't think I would achieve that. I remember one of my first book signings. It was in Cheltenham and there was a long queue. There was a boy, a teenager, who was the last in the queue, standing very quietly looking at me. As I signed his book, he said, 'I just want you to know, your drawings helped me stay.' I wasn't quite sure what he meant. 'Stay?' I asked him. He replied, 'I'm still here.' He sighs as a tear rolls down his cheek. If my work has helped even just one person, I will take that. I will take that. Charlie, who turned 60 earlier this month, has always been a sensitive soul. But don't mistake that for a lack of grit. He once paddled 22 miles from Kew to Greenwich along the Thames in a bathtub with Bear Grylls to raise money for a high-tech artificial leg for a friend who lost a limb in a climbing accident. Born in Northumberland, Charlie admits he struggled when he was sent to boarding school aged just 7. He once said, "When I was a little, I had struggles working out who I was. At age 7 I went to boarding school and I found that very painful. I sometimes wished I had a button that would make me feel less. Or a dial that you could turn down." He tried university twice but left after a week on both occasions. His best friend died in a car accident aged just 19 and Charlie says he started drawing, as a sort of Forrest Gump reaction to trauma. "I started drawing and I just couldn't stop. It was a way of processing everything. And then people started to pay him for his drawings." The artist, who has a studio in Brixton where he paints accompanied by his beloved dog Barney, a dachshund who he based the mole on, has known a lot of loss. "I have lost at least 7 good friends who have taken their lives and I journeyed with a couple of them on it and I could feel their pain and wished I could have helped them more." It means it takes his newfound role as an inspiration seriously. He keeps all his fan mail and interacts with his hundreds of thousands of Instagram fans. "I enjoyed the journey of the questions people sent me and I love seeing how other people felt," he tells me. "I got caught up in this dialogue with a lot of other people who all contributed to the book and ultimately to the film," he says. There is a co-ownership. Schools have made their own versions of the book. People in all sorts of countries create their own drawings. And I just feel very grateful because I am not clever enough or good enough to have done this on my own. If someone had said to me, 'There is going to be a pandemic, make a story that will make people feel okay, that gives them hope,' I wouldn't have started with A Boy and a Mole." He worked closely with the producers of the film of his book, overseeing a team of 150 animators who hand-drew each of the elements in the gorgeous 35-minute film which will air on BBC One. These characters aren't just important to other people, but to him too. "There is a part of me who is like the fox who is wary of connection, of the mole who tries to medicate himself with food, the boy who is lost and obviously the horse which can be wise in a very small way." The stories attracted an all-star cast with Charlie knowing from the off who he wanted to be the mole, Tom Hollander. "There is a humor but also a pathos in Tom's voice," he says. "He has that incredible ability to make you laugh but then suddenly feel a different way entirely." He wanted an Irish accent for the horse and wrote to Gabriel Byrne asking if he would consider it. Byrne called him out of the blue, saying, "I am the effing horse." Idris Elba immediately said yes when it came to playing the quiet fox. "He is a legend, what a dream to have him expressing the depths and terror of the fox and yet the wisdom that we meet at the very end," Charlie enthuses. While newcomer Jude Coward-Nichol voices the boy with a purity that Charlie loved. They all recorded their words separately before the animation was created, so the nuances of their individual voices are reflected in the final film. The film, which will be accompanied by a new version of the book, is the latest element of an adventure Charlie never expected to go on. "I've been caught up in this journey and I don't know where it will end," he adds quietly. It has always been one step at a time. And it still is. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse is on BBC One today at 4:55 p.m. and tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.